Hey everybody, welcome to my studio. My name is Mike, and today I'm going to do two videos. One is an introduction to your home studio. If you don't already have a home studio, it's probably a very good idea, if you're interested in doing this, to really follow through on it. So today I want to just kind of maybe get your feet wet to let you know that, you know what, it is possible for you to do this. We'll go over what you need hardware, software wise, and the costs. And just to let you know that, it is something obtainable. Can you get this stuff in your home? Yes. Can you do this? Definitely, without a doubt. So let me just show you, what I purchased and the way I use the hardware and the software, and maybe that'll get you enticed to go out and do this and not be afraid. Let me just turn this light on here for a sec. Okay. So anyway, let me show you what my first purchase and when I got started. I'll show you what hardware I bought. So if you just come over here, when I first started, I was a little intimidated, but I went ahead now 7 years ago. This was a machine that was like kind of top of the line. It's nothing major now. It's running Windows XP, and that's my recording software. That's Cubase version 3 that I also wound up buying. And then what I did also get was this card. It's the M Audio card, and it is the Fast Track Pro. I love this card. It has two microphone inputs with microphone pads. It comes with phantom power, and also headphone jack, mono and stereo. If I turn it around, it has the MIDI inputs, instrument inputs. You can record electric guitar, bass, keyboard, things like that. And it also has the RCA jacks there, those red and white ones, so you can record off of your iPads, or no, I'm sorry, not iPads. This is more for DJs. Stereos and DVDs and things like that. So the cost for for this machine originally was about $600, $600 and change, way back when. And this card was $200, definitely worth it. So with just these two devices, let's see, we're at 6, 7, we're about 800 and change already. The other thing that I bought right after that was I bought two of these AKG. These are C2000 condenser microphones, and I use this with the card. And I recorded some really good like jazz type of recordings using the card and two microphones. Just hip hop stuff where I use just the bass drum, the snare drum, and the hi-hat. And also percussion wise, hand percussion. This card has not let me down. This setup I still use 7 years later. Now a lot of the things that I bought over the course of about 7, 8 years, so I didn't buy everything all at once. I kind of got my feet wet with these two pieces of hardware, and then the microphone, the two microphones, and of course the software. Now the software that I'm using is Cubase. That's what it looks like. There we go. It's a little intimidating at first. Looks a little sterile, but really great piece of software. Now you can buy free recording sequencing software out on the internet. I think Fruit Loops might be one, if I'm not mistaken. But if you Google it, free sequencing software, you'll probably come up with a bunch of different companies. Now those are very vanilla. You're not going to get all the extras. It comes bungled with nothing, no plugins or anything like that. But it's enough to get you going and to get your feet wet and get you recording and piquing your interest. And then at that point, if you're really into it, you can go on and graduate and get the better version of the sequencing software. The things that I've done in this studio, basically demos for singer-songwriters. I've done, I played drums and recorded drums for bands that needed the CDs to get gigs in clubs and bars. So it's been that sort of thing, and then my own music and my own drumming, recording, and things like that, and with my own band. So that's how I've been using it, and I'll never go back into a recording studio unless somebody else is going to pay for it. And that's the other thing I want to talk about, because the amount of money that we said we spent already was, I think this was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. These microphones were $200 a piece. So we're at about $1,300. And of course the sequencing software, that was the other one. That was the big one. That was another $700. So we're roughly at $1,900. So we're about less than $2,000, which you can spend in a studio in a week, maybe less. You know, if you're there 7 hours and you're paying for an engineer and a facility, you can spend that much within the first week. So I laid down some pros and cons for your own home studio. Basically, in the long run, this will save you money. Initially, you're putting the money up front, but if you have the means, I definitely recommend doing this. The other thing is you're going to learn a new craft. You're going to learn how to record, engineer, and produce your own music, and write your own music. So there's a lot of hats to wear. It's going to take a lot of work, I'm not going to lie to you. And the other thing is, it's your own time. You're not at the mercy of an engineer in a studio with their schedule and their calendar. You can make your own time up and go in and record it as soon as you want, whenever you want. And you can record as soon as you get a musical idea. You can run down into your studio, record your idea, save it, and then, you know, go back to sleep or go back to doing whatever else you were doing. So those are the pros to having your own home studio. The cons are there's a learning curve. It took me a few months to get the software down and the microphones and get everything tweaked and working kind of to the way that I liked it. Those are the cons. It's time consuming. You got to get in there and mess with it if you've never done anything like that before. But I actually at one point went out and bought a book or two, and I started just reading the books, and that helped me a lot. You know, but these days you can just Google and or YouTube, and you can get somebody actually giving you the exercise on how you can actually, you know, work the software to your liking. So I mean, this is pretty much it. If this fits your needs and you have, you know, a reasonable amount of money where you can spend on this stuff, I definitely recommend it, because once you have your home studio and you have an internet connection, you can connect with musicians all over.